One shot. Let's begin. Okuri Okami, a squirty wolf by Tomomi, translated and uploaded by The Middle Forest and Kafka. Alright. It is October, which means we're reading nothing but a horror one shot, and today we're reading two from Tomomi. And I'm a little bit sick, so please bear with me if I need to sniffle my nose or if I need to blow my nose, and if the voices are a little bit off, but hey, I show up. That being said, let's begin, everybody. So, you also came today. Then I suppose I will escort you home today as well. Having to traverse this dangerous forest your commute, being oh, he's the student. Having to traverse this dangerous forest in your commute, being a student must be difficult. Can't be. Perhaps you've come for me? That's right. Because you're here. This is the safest path. It's just that you're so well liked. If snacks such as yourself walks about this time of day, everyone wouldn't be able to leave you alone. You want me you make me want to say, it'll be fine since I'm here, but I'm still worried. What if it was, did you stumble? Tell me, if that were to happen, then I could eat you. I didn't fall over. I was about to pick up a rock because it looked like a coin. I see. That's too bad. The next time I'll clear out all the rocks in the road. I won't make that mistake again because you'll continue to come here tomorrow, the day after that. I also like it when you're hard to get. Okuri Okami, a squirty wolf. One of Japan's yokai. They follow people who are walking along mountain paths at nighttime. If by chance the person falls over, they will be immediately eaten up, but if they pretend to be having a short rest, they will not be attacked. If treated correctly, they will actually protect the person from danger. Nice. This was like that wolf one shot we read a while back, where we were worried that the wolf's gonna attack them, and I was wondering why they brought up that particular legend, but or the particular part about her tripping, because I was waiting for her to trip, but I guess it's just a part of the legend. Where it's like, hey, don't trip and you'll be all right. Thinking we were gonna begin Doll God next. Let's begin Doll God. Alright, we'll begin Doll God by Tomomi, translated and uploaded by No Group and CU Sith. Let's see. I hope this room of your dreams meets your approval, Takahiro. And everything else you said you needed, I've already prepped it all. For today's, let's just relax. Oh, and our bedding should be delivered very shortly. If there's anything else you want, just let me know. No. To think, anything truly is within reach now. I never imagined that cursed charm would hold such power. What's this? You still doubt me? Thanks to me, you saved your family from ruin. They'll thank you for generations. And now you've even gained eternal freedom? All I want is to see Takahiro happy, so I'll grant any wish. Just one question. Where did you get that body, doll god? You said you wanted a lover, didn't you? Why concern yourself with origins now? Let's enjoy the rest of your life with me as your devoted lover. And of course, even after that, for all eternity. After all, I exist solely for you. A doll god, a doll imbued with 1,000 spirits. If enshrined, it will grant any wish, but in return, it possesses the one who enshrined it, never leaving them even after death. Those possessed are doomed to fall into hell. Okay. This is quite scary. Let me go and review this before I get into this here. The spiral eyes, I think, are a nice touch to show that somebody is a little crazy. I didn't get any of the unease from this at first. I just thought she was like a secretary. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, okay, this guy's famous or whatever. She's gonna make all the preparations, type A, boom, boom, boom. And then it just took this turn. I'm like, oh, snap. Now she's an evil I don't even. Is the doll god evil? Maybe. I think because I'm scared of dolls, this does help a little bit, but it's also not as much as it would be because we don't really see the doll. I like the fact we're getting hints of her like transforming, and then see whatever this is. I mean, if you look closely at it, I don't know why the zoom in my thing isn't working, but that's less exciting because I want it to zoom in a lot. You could see like the legs, the arms, right? You see them held together, and then let's see, more legs, arms. Is this all arms? Maybe. Interesting. That looks like a face. Yeah, maybe it is all arms. Maybe they just steal the arms. Interesting. Those look like webbed arms. So let me look up what Doll God is. There we go. We get Jesus. Yokai.com. Hinagami. Doll God, Doll Spirit. Appearance. Hinagami are powerful spirits in Toyama Prefecture. They reside in dolls that grant their owner's wish. Interactions. A Hinagami will grant its owners any wish that he or she desires. Families who own Hinagami quickly become rich and powerful, and people who become rich and famous very quickly are sometimes suspected of owning Hinagami. Hinagami come with a catch. If a new request is not made as soon as the wish is granted, the Hinagami will demand what is next. As soon as that request is fulfilled, the Hinagami will demand another and another and another. This pattern never ends because their creation comes out of human greed and desire. Hinagami cling to their creators obsessively and never leave their side. And Hinagami's attachment is so powerful, in fact, that even death cannot separate it from the master. When a Hinagami creator dies, the Hinagami will follow them to hell and haunt them for all of eternity. Hinagami created through a long and complicated ritual. There are few ways to create a Hinagami. In the most common ritual, the person who wishes to create one must begin by collecting grave earth that has been trampled on by people during the day. Grave earth must be collected in this way every night for 3 years. Whew, that's a lot. For an even stronger Hinagami, this should take place from 7 different graveyards in 7 different villages. Once collected, the grave earth is mixed with human blood until it becomes clay-like. Then it is molded to a doll representing a god or a spirit that its creators worships. This doll is placed and left in a busy world until it becomes trampled upon by 1,000 people. Then the creator retrieves the doll, which has become a Hinagami. An alternative method is to collect graveyard stones and carve them into 1,000 small dolls, each about 9 centimeters long. These dolls are boiled into a large pot until one of them rises to the surface. The doll that rises is to contain the combined total of all 1,000 dolls. Because a special Hinagami called a Kokobo. Kokobo. Kochobo? Kochobo, maybe? Interesting. Because, like, that's a long time and very, very specific. 3 years, every night, making sure it's what that people stood on. The graveyard stuff from 7 is interesting. I don't know why. Living in a big city, I'm like, different villages, I'm like, I'd have to go way, way out to go find that. It just seems like a little too much work, to be honest. It sounds like a cheat code that people tell you in a video game, do this, do that, then maybe you'll unlock it, you know? But that was a nice twist. The Okuri Ookami. Well, let's look at this before we go. This is my vitamin C. C lemon. Highly recommend it. I think this is pretty good. I didn't expect her to be the Okuri Ookami. And I like the fact that she's just a steady person, goes there, and it's a little mysterious at first. And it's also nice to serve as a contrast to the last one. I think that if I didn't see the other interpretation of the Okuri Ookami, I'd be a little bit like confused by this one. Where it's like, huh, interesting. Like, why would you do this? Why would you go there? Because then if you trip and stumble, you're going to die. Let me just, having to traverse through it must be difficult. Perhaps you've come for me because you're here. This is the safest path, right? He's looking for a guardian. Since you're so well liked, if a snack such as yourself walks about this time of day, everyone would be able to leave you alone. Okay, so she's picked, the wolf is depicted as a stalker girlfriend that, And I was having trouble seeing who was reading this here. But it makes sense if it's the wolf. So the wolf loves this person so much that they're worried that other people are going to take their meal. It made me want to say it'll be fine since I'm here, but I'm still worried. What if it was you? What if it was, did you stumble? Tell me if that were to happen, I could eat you. Because this guy looks like he stumbled a bit, right? I did fall. I was about to pick up a rock because it looked like a coin. That's interesting. So you could lie to the thing, too. Huh. So you can outwit an Okuri Okami. Interesting. I like the analogy, though. I think it's a really interesting one. Alright, let's read from yokai.com. Okay, why is this being so difficult? Is my internet gonna die at this moment? That would be really. Okay, good, good, good. Okuri Inu, translation sending off dog. Okay, particularly fond of humans. Okay, it's a nocturnal dog or wolf-like yokai which passes mountains and forest roads. They resemble ordinary dogs and wolf in all but the ferocity, for they are much more dangerous than their mortal counterpart. They follow long travelers into the night, stalks them, keeping a safe distance, but following footstep by footstep. If they should trip or stumble, an Okuri Inu will pounce on them and eat them. Okay. Well, the setting off part comes from the fact that this yokai follows closely behind travelers, trailing behind as if it were a friend, setting them off on their way. The Okuri Inu symbol of a blessing and a curse. On one hand, if one should trip and fall, will pounce with supernatural speed and gobble him or her up. On the other hand, they are so ferocious that while they are following someone, no other dangerous yokai or wild animal will come close. As long as he keeps his footing, he is safe. But traveling in the dark, root-infested, rocky mountain footpaths, especially with merchants carrying large packs, whatever, it is they are going to sell. Does not what? Especially for merchants, carrying large packs of waters they're going to sell do not make for easy footing. The Okuri Inu has a special relationship with another yokai, the Yosozume. This eerie bird's nocturnal song is often a warning that an Okuri Inu is following you. Neat. Fortunate case that once you stumble upon the road, there is one chance for survival. If you fake it so you look like you did it on purpose, the Okuri Inu will be tricked to think you were just taking a short rest and will pursue. You do this by saying, Heave ho, doke yo sho or shindo wa. This is exhausting. Quickly fix yourself to a sitting position. Sigh, sit for a bit and continue your way. The Okuri Inu will wait patiently for you. If you should make it out of the mountain safely, you should turn around and call out, Thanks for seeing me off. Afterwards, that Okuri Inu will never follow you again. Further, when you get home, you should wash your feet and leave out a dish of something for the Okuri Inu to show your gratitude for watching over you. Superstition relates to the Okuri Inu are extremely old, are followed in all parts of Japan. Wolves and wild dogs have existed in Japan for as long as humans have, and the legend must have originated in the midst of prehistory. The word Okuri Okami also applies to predatory men who go after a young one pretending to be sweet and helpful with ulterior motives. That word comes straight from this yokai. In Izu and Saitama, there are similar yokai known as the Okuri Itachi. This is a weasel that works in roughly the same way as the Okuri Inu, only that if you take off one of your shoes, throw it at it, the weasel will eat the shoe and run away, leaving you at peace. Nice. So, I like the fact that by coincidence, I read these two yokai, the Okuri Inu, or the Okuri Okami ones, because we've seen the modern version, right, where you have the mythical Okuri Inu, and he's gonna go protect this lady from the forest beings, and then protects it from guys. Great. You have the modern definition. You have the older one, and then the other one I just read. Great. I get the tricking, the Okuri Okami. Well, it's a more traditional pathway forward, a little bit more scary, as that Okuri Inu wanted to eat him. I wonder if any of these are based in survival tips or anything. Um, I could see them having the dog follow them, and there's a certain amount of pace, and this and the other you want them to keep up with you. Because I think for like certain animals, you just kind of let them follow you until they get over you, and as long as you're not showing fear or whatever, you should be fine. So I'm glad to have gotten both interpretations of it. I think I like the Okuri Okami a little bit more than the other one. Um, I think the Dog God is cool in premise, but I feel like I would need to see more because this one I think is a nice, simple premise. You know, you have the evil wolf, or not evil, you have a wolf that's going to might attack you. Oh man, I'm stumbling all over my words today. You have a wolf that might attack you or guard you, depending whether or not you trip, and if you're fast enough to think about the excuse of I'm just resting. But then you have the other story, which is about the dog god. I think for me, it was more so just reading that. Oof. Well, before I read the information here, I was just like, oh, we had this weird dog god, and it might be able to go after him. Sure, sure, interesting, right? And then it grants any wish. I didn't realize that there was no limit on this. So reading the other thing and the fact that there was no limit, I feel like at that point you would say, well, I wish for world peace. I wish for no more hunger, no more disease. I wish for more time to live. I wish for this. I wish for that. And then, eventually you make so many wishes that you kind of circumvent the dangers of it. And that's me just kind of thinking about how to avoid this. Like, you probably can't wish them away. You're like, I wish I wouldn't go to hell. You wouldn't follow me. You'd have to sort of get significantly more creative with it. Be like, hey, I wish that I would never die would be one of them. And that could be scarier because of the heat death of the universe, but you might exist for another Big Bang. Who knows? And then maybe you just do something like, hey, dog god, I wish that I was reborn every time, and then you'd follow me in that past life to continue to grant me more wishes, but don't da 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 until da 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 da. And I think stuff like that could potentially be interesting. I get that the idea is that it's going to possess you and you're going to go to hell, but I wonder what the amount of wishes you could get, what the limitations are on them, so that way you don't die. And obviously, I'm thinking way too deeply about this. But I like circumventing the rules in those cases. But anyways, I've talked far too long. For all of this. But thank you for watching, everybody. I am working at getting better. I woke up feeling even worse, so been drinking the miso soup and vitamin C. So with all that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for being born, y'all. Peace out.